Lost in Translation was a huge gamble for director Sofia Coppola. It whispered where most films shouted, yet it became one of the most acclaimed films of the 2000s. At its heart, it's about two strangers, adrift in a city that never slows down, finding connection in the unlikeliest of places. But beneath that quiet surface, there's a whirlwind of untold stories. From a leading man who almost didn't show up, to an actress barely out of high school, to a final moment so secret it's never been revealed. Add to that a box office story nobody in Hollywood saw coming, and you begin to see why this quiet film made such a loud impact. Here are 20 fascinating facts about Lost in Translation, the secrets, risks, and happy accidents that turned a subtle film into a modern classic. Number 1. Bill Murray as the first and only choice. From the moment she started writing Lost in Translation, Sofia Coppola had only one actor in mind, Bill Murray. His unique mix of dry humor, melancholy, and warmth was exactly what she envisioned for Bob Harris. Coppola tailored the character so precisely to him that she admitted the story might never have worked with anyone else. This wasn't just casting. It was a role built around a single performer, and the film's very existence depended on Murray saying, yes. Number 2. She pursued him without a contract. Of course, landing Murray was easier said than done. He has long been famous for his eccentric approach to Hollywood. He's legendary for having no agent, no manager, and no office, just a mysterious voicemail he may or may not check. Coppola chased him through friends and contacts, anxiously waiting for a reply with no guarantees. Even after he agreed, there was no contract, no signed deal, just trust. And in true Murray fashion, he kept everyone guessing until the last moment, finally showing up in Tokyo only a week before filming began. Number 3. The whiskey commercial has a history. The famous Suntory commercial scene wasn't purely fictional. Coppola drew inspiration from actual Japanese ads, particularly ones featuring Western celebrities. Even legendary filmmaker Akira Kurosawa directed a Suntory whiskey commercial in the 1970s. These strange East-West collaborations fascinated Coppola and became the perfect metaphor for Bob Harris's dislocated career. What seems absurd and comic in the movie is grounded in real cultural practice, making the scene more layered than parody. It perfectly reflects the blurred line between prestige and embarrassment in global fame. Number 4. Scarlett Johansson was only 17 when cast. Scarlett Johansson was just 17 when Sofia Coppola cast her as Charlotte, the quietly searching young woman adrift in Tokyo. Her youth was vital to the role. It heightened the sense of uncertainty, of standing on the threshold between adolescence and adulthood. Johansson's natural restraint and introspective style gave Charlotte an authenticity beyond her years. Despite her age, she carried scenes with a subtle depth that critics praised, proving she could hold her own opposite the much older, seasoned Murray. Number 5. The intentional age gap. Coppola deliberately chose a large age difference between Bob Harris and Charlotte to magnify their contrasting life stages. Bob, weary and disillusioned, represents a man facing the slow fade of middle age. Charlotte, still young and searching, embodies the unease of beginnings. Their age gap is not for romance, but to frame their connection as something rooted in understanding instead of passion. This generational divide allowed Coppola to explore loneliness, companionship, and how two souls can mirror each other's solitude. Number 6. Tokyo was Coppola's personal experience. Coppola's decision to set the film in Tokyo wasn't random. It was deeply personal. She had spent significant time in Japan, absorbing its beauty and strangeness, and she knew firsthand the disorientation of being both enchanted and alienated. Tokyo's neon lights, vast streets, and unfamiliar rituals mirrored the inner worlds of her characters. By transplanting them into a city where nothing felt familiar, Coppola let the environment itself become a silent character, underscoring the universal feeling of being lost yet curious. Number 7. Stranger in a Strange Land. More than just a travelogue, the film portrays the profound sense of dislocation that comes from being in a foreign place. From the quiet hotel rooms to the chaotic streets, the characters constantly drift between fascination and loneliness. Coppola uses these cultural contrasts not to mock Japan, but to highlight the universal unease of displacement. Everyone has felt at some point the odd mixture of invisibility and hyper-awareness in a new environment. Lost in Translation turns that sensation into poignant storytelling. Number 8. Bob's midlife crisis and fading fame. Bob Harris isn't just any washed-up actor, but a carefully constructed reflection of midlife crisis. Coppola based him on the kind of American celebrity who once shined brightly, but is now quietly fading, doing overseas endorsements to stay afloat. Bill Murray brought authenticity to this role, blending humor with resignation. Bob's melancholy about missed opportunities and fading stardom resonated with audiences because it felt real. He wasn't simply fictional. He was every actor or artist who feared becoming irrelevant. Number 9. The Bar at the Park Hyatt. Did you know that the moody bar where Bob and Charlotte share their quiet, meandering conversations is not a set, but a real place? The New York Bar at the Park Hyatt, Tokyo. Its sweeping city views and dark, jazzy atmosphere provided the perfect backdrop for two lonely souls finding solace. After the film's release, the bar became a pilgrimage site for fans. People still visit, ordering whiskey or cocktails, hoping to sit in the same plush chairs where Murray and Johansson once did. Number 10. Naturalist shooting. Instead of Hollywood-scale setups, Coppola embraced intimacy by working with a lean crew. Many scenes were shot guerrilla-style, with handheld cameras that allowed the actors to blend into Tokyo's real streets. This stripped-down approach made the film feel raw and authentic, as if we were peeking into real moments instead of staged ones. The smaller team also gave Murray and Johansson freedom to improvise, making their interactions organic. It was filmmaking at its most delicate, trusting the city and the actors to carry the story. If you're enjoying these hidden stories, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more deep dives into cult classics and modern masterpieces coming your way. Number 11. Improvised dialogues. Although Sofia Coppola's script was carefully written, she gave Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson freedom to improvise in key scenes. This choice brought a sense of spontaneity that made their conversations feel real rather than rehearsed. Murray in particular thrived in this environment, tossing out lines that blended humor and melancholy. Johansson responded naturally, creating a chemistry that was unforced. These unscripted exchanges gave the film its authenticity, and audiences felt they were eavesdropping on genuine human connection. Number 12. The Suntory Time. One of the most iconic moments comes when Bob Harris films a whiskey commercial, awkwardly repeating the director's dramatic instructions. This wasn't fiction pulled from thin air. In the 1980s and 1990s, many American celebrities made commercials exclusively for Japanese audiences, ads they would never dare show at home. Coppola cleverly used this cultural detail to highlight Bob's career decline. The scene is funny, but it also underlines how far he's drifted from the Hollywood spotlight, reduced to selling whiskey overseas. Number 13. The Whisper Scene. The final moment between Bob and Charlotte is legendary. As he prepares to leave Tokyo, he whispers something inaudible in her ear, and the camera never reveals what he says. This was entirely unscripted. Bill Murray improvised the line on the spot, leaving even Coppola unsure of his exact words. The choice created an eternal mystery that fans still debate today. By keeping it private, Coppola transformed the whisper into a symbol of intimacy, something personal between two characters that audiences can never fully share. Number 14. Coppola's script was semi-autobiographical. While not strictly autobiographical, Coppola admitted that much of Lost in Translation came from her own life. She wrote it during a period of loneliness and transition, after her marriage to Spike Jonze was falling apart. Charlotte's drifting, searching character reflected Coppola's own feelings at the time, while Bob's disillusionment echoed what she observed in older Hollywood figures. This personal grounding gave the film an emotional honesty that audiences connected to, because it wasn't just fiction. It was Coppola translating her own isolation into art. Number 15. The Karaoke Scene. The karaoke scene, where Bob and Charlotte sing awkwardly yet tenderly, was drawn from Coppola's personal experiences in Tokyo. She had spent nights in those tiny, neon-lit karaoke booths with friends, where strangers could shed their inhibitions and sing their hearts out. For Coppola, karaoke was the perfect setting for her characters to let their guarded facades slip away. The scene isn't just comic relief, it's a moment of vulnerability. Through off-key singing and laughter, Bob and Charlotte forge a rare, fragile bond. Number 16. The soundtrack. Music plays a central role in shaping the film's mood. Coppola carefully curated a soundtrack filled with ethereal sounds from artists like Air, Phoenix, and Square Pusher. Most notably, she convinced Kevin Shields of My Bloody Valentine fame to contribute new music after years of silence. His hazy, atmospheric tracks blend seamlessly with the film's dreamy visuals. The soundtrack became as celebrated as the movie itself, perfectly echoing themes of isolation and fleeting connection. It remains one of the defining indie soundtracks of the early 2000s. Number 17. The film was a critical success. Lost in Translation had its world premiere at the Telluride Film Festival in 2003. From the very beginning, critics hailed it as a triumph, praising Coppola's delicate direction and the unlikely chemistry between Murray and Johansson. Word of mouth spread quickly, and soon it was screened at Toronto and Venice, solidifying its reputation as an art house gem. What began as a small independent project suddenly became one of the most talked about films of the year, drawing international acclaim well beyond expectations. Number 18. The Prophet. Independent films rarely become box office sensations, but Lost in Translation defied the odds. Produced on a modest budget of just $4 million, it went on to gross over $118 million globally. Audiences connected with its quiet storytelling and emotional resonance, even without big action or spectacle. The financial success stunned Hollywood, proving that subtle, character-driven stories could thrive in theaters. This unlikely triumph helped launch Coppola as a major director and showed that indie cinema still had worldwide commercial appeal. Number 19. Who won the Oscar? The Academy recognized the brilliance of Coppola's script by awarding her the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay in 2004. This made her the first American woman to win in that category, and only the third woman ever. Coppola's win was historic, but it was also deeply personal. She had written the script during a period of her own loneliness and transition. The award validated her ability to translate those private emotions into universal storytelling, cementing her place among cinema's most important voices. Number 20. The cultural representation of Japan. Despite its success, the film was not without controversy. Some critics argued that its portrayal of Japan leaned into stereotypes, depicting locals as caricatures seen only through Western eyes. Others defended the film, noting it reflects the disorientation of the characters rather than a judgment of the culture. This debate continues today, making Lost in Translation not just a love story, but also a conversation starter about cultural perspective, privilege, and how foreigners may interpret places that are not their own. Some films fade as the years pass, but Lost in Translation grows stronger in memory. It's a story of loneliness that somehow makes us feel less alone, of strangers who remind us of ourselves. That quiet resonance is why this film still whispers to audiences everywhere. If you enjoyed exploring these hidden details, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your favorite moment from the film in the comments below.